Game Day. You guys have been to a lot of places,
Yeah.
but Rupp Arena.
Obviously, a couple of years ago when we had 23,000, that was like, wow. 15,000 wouldn't be bad either. I think Cal's doing a great job with these guys. I think once they knew where they stood, the Tennessee loss was a wake-up call. And I thought the other night against Vandy, every one of those guys on the floor played to their potential. And I think that's what Cal is trying to do, especially playing a little dodgeball, wiffle ball, whatever. And he's a master of psychology. He's a master salesman. And to see, when I look at Cauley Stein, just go out and get 27, a couple key blocks, key rebound. He's not Anthony Davis. He's not Noel. I think the other night, after the Tennessee loss, he realized just be who you are. And I think that's the most important thing. I think if Harold just runs a team as a quarterback, everybody else will fall in place. No matter if it's Goodwin, Wiltshire, whoever, Porthos, all of those guys. But to me right now, it is now. They're focused to now, and that's the best of Cal. And yeah, beat Missouri, that puts us towards a bid. And I think that's the most important thing is you stay focused to now and don't look ahead. And from that standpoint, what's our goal? We just want a bid. And then once we get a bid, who we playing? And if all of a sudden I'm the team that's got to play Kentucky, I don't care if we're number 68, the play-in game in Dayton. Just get us there. And we've seen that happen before. We can go back and look at VCU. We can go back a couple years ago and look at Kemba Walker. Now, obviously, this team's young, very young. What happened last year, the Anthony Davis and company, they had players with them. You got veterans coming back. It takes the pressure, and they grew. It was theirs to lose last year. Everybody knew that, and I think Cal did a great job bringing them along. And as the season went, they got stronger and stronger. And then, of course, when it came time, let's go to New Orleans and bring home the trophy. They got it done. I think that this is a good class, but not as great a class as last year's class, but no upperclassmen to go with them, and that's been the difference maker. But hey, they're 9-4, 5 games left. Just take care of business, and I tell you, win over Missouri just puts everybody in the right perspective. And yet you still got 2 other home games. You still got 2 games on the road, especially the last one with Florida on the road. But then you still got the SEC tournament. And people forget a couple years ago, like I said, I don't think we're talking this way, but Kemba Walker, they lost their last home game to Notre Dame. And came time for the Big East. Next thing you know, they win 11 in a row. And I just feel that if these guys come back with the class that's coming in, let's go to Dallas now and just give them the trophy. I mean, that's where that team's going to head next year. But I think this is the best of Calipari. And he's got nothing more to prove. I mean, he came here for one reason. It wasn't about money. It was Kentucky's 1 word, or 2 words, national championship. And he got it in 3 years. And now it's just, okay, let's keep rebuilding. Let's see what we got to do to keep this thing going. And from the setback of Noel, I just think now you see the birth of Cauley Stein of just being himself, and let's see where we go from here.
As a coach, you do 5 games left.
Right.
As a coach, being there, what do you tell these players? What would you tell these players to?
Forget the 5. It's Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And what can we do to beat Missouri? Missouri has not played well on the road all year. So, okay, you're coming to our house. And this is blue country. And I think the crowd will be in it. And I think that this is after, especially beating Vandy the other night, they would have held on in the end. Now I think the place, especially with game day here, I think that every game day we've had this year, the home team has won. So maybe this is a good omen. I'm bringing the luck of the Irish, a little green to Calipari. But Cal's a special guy. When his mother passed a year ago, or probably almost 2 years ago now, and his dad was left alone, and I had a mass set for him at Notre Dame. And when they came up to Notre Dame in the fall, I say into November, we talked about that and took him to the grotto to light a candle. And he wanted to stay and say the Rosie for his mother. And I just thought that was really cool that he felt about that and wanted to do that. And that's the other side of Cal that people don't know about, the spiritual side of him. But he is the master of marketing. Nobody in college basketball can do what he has done or is still doing. And he just has that way. I mean, to start playing dodgeball with the guys the other day. Yeah. Coaches versus players. Yeah. Or I guess they played wiffle ball today. I don't know. But that's he's always creative. He's always been the master of finding ways to market, so to speak. And no one that does it better than he does. So I think more importantly, he knows now with these kids, okay, here's who we are now. Here's your job description. No matter what 5 are on the floor, just be yourself and play. And I think the biggest impact the other night was Cauley Stein. to see him go out and get 20, him go out and get 7 rebounds. But to have 3 blocks, of which 2 were crucial at the end of the game, and get that 1 rebound with like 34 seconds, that was the seal of the deal. And now what that does is the other 4 guys out there with us says, okay, we got somebody in the paint now that can do things that we need to get done. So it'll be interesting to see how that match up. Obviously, a tough game with Mizzou. Mizzou had a nice win coming back after being down 13 the other night to Florida. Still the payback games when they lost to Florida by 31. But they have struggled on the road. So that's one thing you look at and you figure out, why do they struggle on the road? Is it turnover? It was interesting because the other night, when you look at their stats and you figure out, well, what are they doing, what they don't do? Down in Florida, they had turnovers. Well, the other night they had assists. And so when you start trading turnovers for assists, you start getting points. And I think that's what you try to do. The game, to me, as a coach, it's all about turnovers and it's all about the boards. When I say boards, second chance points. You know, the teams that shoot 48 to 50%, it's the second chance points. I mean, if you're getting, 10, 12 offensive rebounds, and out of that you're getting 16, 18 points, that means you're shooting 50% in that sequence. And I think that's I see happening. I see teams that shoot too many threes and they're not getting second chance points. It's because long shot, long rebound, versus the teams that drive the ball or go inside or take the 14, 16 footers and make those shots before you start worrying about shooting the three. So to me, it's still going to come down to how tough they play, defense, and how they go after it, and how they control the boards.
Just a quick game day question. You still get to play that coach's role as part of this game day crew. And
yeah.
What's it like with this group? Because you all have some big personalities. What's it like?
I think we have a great team. We bust each other all the time, but when it comes to time for the show, we play off each other. I think that's the chemistry. And even with Jalen Rose being a part of this team this year, because he decided to become an assistant to Roy Williams, it's still there. Billis, as we call him, Larry the lawyer, because he's got that law degree. He has his side of it, obviously being a great player at Duke, and Jalen with a Fab Five, and we don't have a better coach than Reese. And I think the chemistry we have together, we just play off each other and respect each other, and that's why it gets crazy, and people just love it around the country.
So you've never played dodgeball with the Notre Dame guys?
No, I don't think that was a new one for me. Dodgeball. No, scream and yell a lot.
You guys had a little surprise last college game day with Kansas, with Liffey coming out the back, and you did that whole little skit. Any surprises in store here?
You gotta wait and see. You gotta wait and see. Oh no, you gotta wait and see. No, you'll see. There'll be something going on. We always do. All right,
appreciate it.